They turned a campfire snack into a stadium quesadilla. But what if I told you I found a way to make it even better? Twice. The S'mores Quesadilla. Yeah, this is an actual item at Citizens Bank Park. And today, I'm not just recreating it. I'm adding 2 wild variations of my own to see if the original even stands a chance. We're running 3 versions head to head. The Stadium Original, a Chocolate Crepe Remix, and a full send Biscoff S'mores Cheesecake Edition. Each one gets rated on taste and execution, and in the end, we'll find out which one scores big, which one strikes out. Now you're going to get a quesadilla stuffed with Nutella, Mini Marshmallows, graham crackers, all dusted off with a little bit of powdered sugar and some chocolate dipping sauce on the side. Now I know the Philly fanatic would probably pay $12 for this, but the real question is, would you or would I? So you can pick this up at section 142 at the Coca-Cola corner over in left field. Now enough of the build up, let's start making something. We're going to start here with a soft taco sized flour tortilla, get it heated up on one side and go ahead and flip it over. And here we are right off the bat doing something stupid. Right, so honestly, I should have put this Nutella on the flour tortilla before I put the tortilla on the hot surface. But hey, here we are either way. It started to melt and made things a little bit easier to spread. Next, we're going to come in with some graham cracker crumbs, spread this all over the place, but mostly on the tortilla. Next up, we have the mini marshmallows we're going to sprinkle on here. Get this little guy who tried to get away, throw him back in there. Finish topping this off. And then from there, we're just going to let this sit for a few seconds, and then we're just going to start folding this. Again, kind of dumb, a little hot. Fortunately, after about a minute, I figured out there's an actual kitchen utensil that can help not burn myself. But from there, hey, we flip this thing over. We got the gooey marshmallow. We got the graham cracker crumble hugging the layer of Nutella. So let's get this thing plated up. As a reminder, here's the ingredients as we dust this off with some powdered sugar on top. Here we go head to head. I got to say, mine's looking pretty damn good. Obviously, my chocolate sauce is on the side for dipping, and we're about to do just that. Let's get into it. Now, you know these things are going to be messy, going to be all over the place just because of the marshmallow. And we're going to go ahead and dip it in this dark chocolate sauce that I have off over here to the side. Go in for the first bite. Now, listen, this is where things really fell off the rails for about 15 minutes behind the scenes. And I'm not sure how many deaths have occurred from powdered sugar asphyxiation, but I know damn sure I was next on the list. All right, let's get into the score in this thing. And I'm going to give it a 7 on taste. The flavors were okay. Nothing was really blowing me away here. Execution, though, I'm going to give it a 9. This was actually pretty simple. The only thing I'm going to hit myself on is the tortilla could have been a little bit darker, but that's because I cooked it on a crepe plate. That's on me. And disregard the fact that I look like an extra from the Wolf of Wall Street here. I had freaking powdered sugar everywhere. All right, so that's the OG. But I've got something cooking that turns s'mores into an Almond Joy mashup. So let's get into it. We're going to start here by sifting a little bit of flour, unsweetened cocoa powder, sugar, and salt. We're going to use this Jose Altuve-sized whisk to mix in some milk and a few eggs, get this going, get this as smooth as we possibly can. Now, because of the air bubbles that foam up in here, we're going to put this in the fridge for about an hour, let it settle. And then we're going to take it out and we're going to use this mesh strainer to get any of the lumps that were left over from the bottom. Now, this step is optional, but I do it when I make crepes. Let's get some of this crepe batter down here on this crepe pan. Now, I make crepes all the time. It's a pretty big request in my house, but this is the first time I've actually done chocolate ones, so I was definitely looking forward to seeing how these turned out. There's about a half a cup of crepe batter here on this pan. We're going to use this sweet little crepe tool. Now, I'm not putting any pressure on this. I'm just letting the weight of this wooden piece do its work. Once we get that smoothed out, we're going to let it go on this side for about 30 seconds. Come in with the spatula, get this thing flipped over. We're going to let it go for about another 20 seconds or so. I mean, these things go really quick because they're so thin. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. Then we're going to get some coconut toasted here in the oven for about 14 minutes. We've got some fresh whipped cream going with some shaved almonds right on top. Then we're just going to fold that in here. This is going to be a great addition to the coconut and really set this off as an Almond Joy variation. Thankfully, this marshmallow fluff spread on a lot easier than the Nutella, than the quesadilla. And before we fold this crepe, similar to the Giants in the second half of this current season, I'm going to toast up this marshmallow fluff to really give it that campfire feel. Next, we're going to take that toasted coconut out of the oven, sprinkle this on top, really give us the crunch on the inside. Hit it with some graham cracker crumbs, then this dark chocolate drizzle to really finish this off. So there you have it, Almond Joy S'mores Chocolate Crepe. So let's get this thing plated up. And to really drive home the campfire nostalgia, we're going to toast some larger marshmallows on top. Let's go in for a taste. Yeah, that ain't enough. Let's do it again. Now, this first bite, I mean, I had marshmallow going all over the place as you would expect, from the inside, from the top. Man, this is definitely moving in the right direction after the quesadilla. I'm going to go ahead and give this a solid score of an 8.0. Execution-wise, I'm going to hit with a 7.5. I could have probably taken this to another level, honestly. The almond flavor in the whipped cream was pretty subtle. Now, I could have obviously added some almond extract to the whipped cream, but I think doing some toasted sliced almonds on the outside would also help with some additional texture elements. But hey, let me know in the comments, what would you guys have done differently with this crepe? You guys ready for the next one? Man, I could not wait to make this. We're going from quesadilla to crepe to cheesecake. Let's get it. So with these 4-inch springform pans, I got the Biscoff crust going. That's got the cookie crumbs, some sugar, and some unsalted butter. And I'm just getting this really pressed down in here in each one of these pans. Then in a bowl, we're going to add some softened cream cheese, a little bit of salt, and then the sugar. We're going to have this blender going on low, get this all mixed up. It's going to take a few minutes to get that incorporated. And after we got that mixed up, we're going to put these marshmallows in the oven to get a little toast on there. I think there's about 7 or 8 minutes. We're going to add some room temperature eggs, some sour cream, some heavy cream, and this vanilla extract. Get that all mixed together. And this is where we're going to get a little crazy here. We're going to incorporate these deflated middle-aged marshmallows. This is a process that probably took about 3 to 4 minutes to kind of scrape out of the pan, but here we go. You guys know I'm always good for doing something stupid. And there we go. What a dumbass. I laughed about this for a few minutes. You know, in the moment, all I kept thinking was, man, this went to shit just as quick as the Orioles 2025 season. Just a freaking mess. Anyway, fold in the marshmallows now. Amazingly, I had the idea of using a spatula, then come in with the power tool. That's not a power tool. Blender? Yeah. So here we go, filling these springform pans. You can see the lumps of marshmallows folding in here. Baking this in a water bath to help keep the texture super silky and hopefully prevent any cracking on the top. Yep, here I am trying to pick up a hot-ass pan with boiling water in it. It's amazing I even made it through this episode. So the trick with cheesecake is not over baking, right? You want the center to have a slight jiggle because it's going to firm up a little as it cools. Before you release, run a knife around the edge first so that nothing sticks. Let's get this top layer of mini marshmallows on. Come back in and hit it with this torch. Sprinkle on some crushed Biscoff on top. We're going to hit with a final drizzle of dark chocolate. This is campfire nostalgia, but in cheesecake form. Let's get in here for a bite. Now, I had high expectations for this. It took a while to get together, and there was a lot of anticipation built up for this. This bite was ridiculous. I mean, the Biscoff cookies got a spiced caramelly flavor that just pairs amazingly with the toasted marshmallow and the dark chocolate. I just didn't have any words. I just couldn't stop smiling, really. And it's hard for me to rate anything a 10, but damn, this was a 9.9. It was right there. Execution, I'm going to go with a 9.0. Only thing that could have been executed better was the Biscoff crumb crust. It's a little bit of challenge to get it out of the bottom of the springform pan. So let me know in the comments, you demolishing this cheesecake or are you sticking with the OG quesadilla? Easy choice for me. So there it is. OG quesadilla, chocolate crepe remix, and the Biscoff cheesecake bomb. Next stop, Petco Park in San Diego, where elote's on the menu. You're not going to want to miss that one. Until then, see you next game.